Today we are going to talk all about the probate process as it pertains to real estate, what this could mean for you and your family if it comes about, and some tips and tricks on how to get through it as a seller and as a buyer. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Aaron Powers Show. Today we're talking all about the probate process in the state of Nevada as it pertains to real estate. This can be kind of a complicated process if you haven't been through it before. I have helped people through this process, actually helping a friend of mine through it now. And what it means, probate, what is it, right? And that's when a family member or loved one passes away and their estate is left to somebody who is known as the executor or executrix. And this person is going to facilitate whatever was left, possibly a will or trust. It just depends on the situation. But in this process is usually a lot of assets involved, which could obviously be real estate. It can be debts, it can be cars, it can be, you name it, everything in the estate that they owned. And so when it comes to the real estate part, a lot of people kind of don't really understand how that process goes. So I wanted to shed a little bit of light on that. First thing is please make sure that you hire an attorney, a probate attorney, to help you through this process. Trying and attempting to do this on your own is very difficult, very frustrating. So first things first, make sure you hire a great attorney. They will ask you at some point when it gets to the property, what to do with the property. Sometimes the property must be sold to pay off other debts that may be in the estate. Sometimes you can choose. Most of the time, people end up wanting to get rid of the property, get rid of the memories, those kind of things, kind of move on from that part of life. So we usually end up doing a lot of probate sales in real estate. And what we need to do first of all is find out who the executor is, right? Make sure that we're dealing with the person who is now the quote unquote owner of the property. First things first, want to make sure we're dealing with the right person. As we get further along, we're going to list the property. We're going to put a sign in the yard, put it on the MLS, just like any other property would. The difference here is just how the process goes. So first thing we need to do is find a buyer for the property, right? Somebody who's willing to buy it, and go from there. We will always do a home inspection and an appraisal. Those items will always be done. And then as a buyer, with the caveat that you are going to have to go to probate court. And what this means is once the inspection and appraisal are done, everything's agreed upon, we have a loan in place, unless they're paying cash, of course, we will set a date at the probate court. And what we'll do is the judge will hear the case. He or she will bring up the property, and we will be there as the buyer and seller to facilitate that transaction. Now, when buying, do know that there is a possibility for somebody to actually show up at the court hearing and outbid you as the buyer. Some investors are known for doing this because if it's a lower priced property, it could be a great way for them to buy it, possibly flip it, rehab it, and then sell it for a higher price. So there are investors here looking to make money from probate sales. So just keep that in mind. As a buyer, you do need to understand that there is a possibility, even if you get the contract accepted, do a home inspection, do an appraisal, get approved for a loan, that somebody could outbid you on the property if they show up and want to buy it. So a big thing that we definitely want to understand there. As a seller, it really is a pretty straightforward process. At the end of the day, you want to make as most money as you possibly can. So whether that buyer buys it or somebody else that may outbid them buys it, you're kind of sitting in the driver's seat, which is always a good thing. Now, on the bidding process from the buyer, let's say you offered $250,000 for the property. It went to probate court. Anybody that would outbid you must outbid up to $5,000 over the sales price. So they would have to start their bid at $255,000. They immediately have to bid up $5,000, and then every $1,000 beyond that, so $256,000, $7,000, $8,000, so on and so forth, until somebody becomes the buyer of the property. So just a little bit of info there. I know it was a lot, and it's just good to understand these items. If you do see something in probate, it could seem like a really good deal. That may be because they just want to get it to court and see who can outbid you. So keep that in mind. Make sure you have a good relationship with your buyer's agent and or listing agent, depending on where you're at in this process. Ask as many questions as you can. If they're unfamiliar with probate or haven't been through it before, probably a good idea to find somebody who has, that can really facilitate and help you with this, because it is a great way to buy and sell property. It can be hard on the seller side, obviously, because of a death. So you just want to tread lightly on these items and just make sure that everything is, said the way it's supposed to be, your ducks are in a row, and you can definitely move forward and find some great property value this way as well. Any other questions, please reach out, leave comments below. I'd be happy to answer them for you. I am Aaron Powers, local real estate agent here in Las Vegas with Keller Williams Southern Nevada. Please subscribe for all future videos. Give us a thumbs up if you like the content, and we hope to see you back next time. With that being said, who do you know that may have some questions or are going through the probate process that really needs our help moving forward? Thank you so much.